Welcome back, my friends. We're getting very close to the end now. Can you feel it? Can you feel the tension building as the heroes near the end of their quest? That's called rising action. I learned all about that stuff from my Papa Gaston. It's just basic storytelling for a professional such as myself. Maybe I should be teaching, sharing my wisdom and skills with others. I'll have to add that to my to-do list. Athelflaed, Paxton, Terra, Zartok, and Epilema explored the Department of Transmutation, finding it mostly empty. They've reached the final level, the bottom of the entire complex. Integration. They know that Strethok the Necromancer resides within. Yet they are so incredibly brave that they descended that spiral staircase without a second thought. We last left our heroes as they confronted a stunning sight. A stunning sight that you can see for yourself if you check out our website at tftggw.com or our Twitter or Facebook pages. So what is it that has surprised them and shaken them to their core? What bizarre scene awaits them at the bottom of the Wizard Research Complex? Find out now!
Awesome. Oh, whoa, what's going on?
Does this look...
Ah! Hey! Someone else describe this.
Yeah, why don't you describe that for the listeners?
Who wants to do it?
I can only see some of it. Because,
Oh, yeah, Ashley said a disadvantage. Okay, so we've arrived into a room with what looks like an extra large jar world with water hoses connected to it and forming into rivers, and there's a city in the middle. This must look a lot... Does this look like World 83?
Sure, it looks like all of them. Yeah.
And standing in front of that is a green humanoid figure with white glowing eyes. He does look a bit orcish. I think we'll presume this is Strethok, and he's over a table with a corpse on it with the torso opened up. Looks like could be an elf or a can't really determine the race of this creature. There's also surgical tools on the table, as well as a lantern that's lighting up the room. And there's another table with just arms on it. Just different kind of arms. Looks like the arm of a humanoid and maybe a troll or an orc. Oh, and the corpse is also missing a leg. And it does look like Strethok is looking up at us like we've interrupted his concentration. He doesn't look happy about this. All right, how'd I do, gang? That's not the worst description I've ever done.
Yeah, I think that's solid.
Good. Yeah.
Everything has a greenish hue to it.
Yeah, a lot of that greenish light is actually coming from the world, which is verdant. It's just filled with greenery.
It's filled with green. Are those...
It doesn't appear to be like an active world. Can we tell?
You can't tell from way up here, but it could be.
Are those buildings in the middle of those mountains on the island in the center? Is that...
Hard to tell from here.
They would be huge
Could be buildings. Could be.
Okay. It does appear like this is like the master world, maybe. Like, maybe he's been...
Big question, do we see a wand fragment anywhere?
You don't.
All right.
We didn't even need to come here, guys.
Does the zombie that's on the table that Strethok is working on, does the zombie look familiar to us? Is it someone we've seen?
No.
Okay.
The corpse has been... There's a cloth over its private area, which was very well done. Good manners.
Respectful.
This is a PG-13.
It's a family show.
There's gore and viscera everywhere, but no private parts to be seen. This is excellent artwork. I think I know who did this artwork.
Yeah, this is from Sean.
It's definitely Sean.
Yeah,
this is awesome.
It's pretty amazing,
This
isn't
is
it?
so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
The look on Strethok's face is very WTF. Like, what the heck are you
Even
guys
though
doing
he
here?
was expecting us, right?
You
I mean,
didn't-
come on.
You did invite us. Stop staring at us like that.
I actually have another piece of art to show you.
Oh, okay.
This is
There's a giant monster behind
Strethok's
us.
fist at our face.
It's a close-up, like a Ren and Stimpy style close-up on Strethok's face. Me. This is
There
very
should
cool.
be another one loading.
That was awesome. Sean is very talented.
Oh boy.
Whoa.
Oh.
Oh, cool. Oh, so we got two different looks at this. Oh, awesome.
They're both great.
Yes.
This one is from Ignacio Corva, and it is another depiction of Strethok.
Wow. Awesome. Both very good.
Anybody want to describe this one, or is it seem similar enough to the other one that there's nothing to add?
It doesn't seem very similar, but I mean, both look like kind of what I was expecting Strethok to look like. This one I'd say is a lot more dark, much scarier.
Yeah, you can't see the world quite so clearly.
Right.
You just see kind of like dark, like kind of like Crazy Man's laboratory, really. And the Crazy Man is a spooky, gaunt orc.
The glowing eyes are cool in both.
Yeah, with the first image, I thought, oh, let's just go talk to Strethok then. And with this one, I think, let's go
Kill
back.
it. Kill it. Kill it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is more undead-ish. The other one was more orc-ish. Very cool, both of them.
hmm
So I'll read the flavor text,
Yeah.
even though I think you've described everything pretty thoroughly. There is an enormous glass container, 10 feet wide at the base, 3 feet wide at the narrow top, with 4 tubes pumping water into the sides of the container. The water falls into the world, forming 4 rivers that flow to form a sea with an island in the middle. Even from here, as you continue down the staircase, you can see that there are large structures built on the island. There are other signs of civilization scattered across the verdant land masses. Scattered around the room are tables with an incredible variety of items on them. Glass containers with bubbling liquids, metal boxes, surgical tools, spell foci, and other things you can't identify. Most importantly, there is a table next to the glass container. Sprawled upon the table is a corpse with its chest cavity open. Its leg has been severed just above the knee. Also upon the table are surgical tools and a bottle of a liquid that appears to be surging upward. A tall figure stands next to this table. He is wearing a simple robe with no visible equipment, and his skin appears greenish. He's writing something on parchment with a quill pen.
Strethok, I presume.
He looks up at you briefly, and you see his pupilless eyes glow with white light. Pretty sure he's seen you, but he returns to his writing. The room is silent, aside from the sound of water pumping. What do you want to do?
That was rude.
Yeah, it was.
Are we still like on the staircase?
Yes.
I'll keep walking down the stairs, I guess.
Mhm.
Okay. Epilema says, guys, this is kind of creeping me out.
You're not
Yes.
the only one.
Yeah, for real.
All right. You walk down the stairs. You reach the floor. You're now level with this undead being and this large glass world.
Amazing. Zartok will walk right up to it, stare into it.
Okay. You can see that this glass world appears to be in excellent shape. It is filled with growing plants. You're very high up. It's like there are little tiny trees growing everywhere, and there are streams, and now that you're closer, you can see that there is indeed some sort of city in the middle with some enormous buildings. And there are little settlements all over the world, and some of these mountains that they've talked about before, you see there are these big mounds of rock that they think of as mountains, mounds of metal.
No bubbles in this glass.
No bubbles that you can see.
Okay.
Administrator, which world is this?
He looks up for a moment.
0.
This was the first one?
And he goes back to writing. As you're standing there looking at this world, a little cloth figure shuffles past you. Excuse me. And it's carrying some sort of bottle, which it places on the table, and then walks away.
Is the bottle empty?
Yeah, it's an empty bottle.
Is that another rag golem?
It looks like a rag golem, yes.
Huh.
And he continues writing on his paper.
So, Strethok, we was the adventurers answering your survey, if you haven't figured that out. And you said to visit here after we conducted our business in necromancy.
Yes. Working.
Alright. Yeah, I guess I'll leave him to it.
Can we see what he's writing?
Sure, if you want to sneak up and look at what he's writing.
Try to do so in a nonchalant sort of way.
Okay. You get up close to him and try to stand on your tiptoes and look up on the table. He's very tall.
Mm-hmm.
He's also very slender. He's probably an orc, but he's much more slender of build than most orcs would be. Maybe it's because he's dead. You're not sure. He definitely doesn't look like a living being. He looks like some kind of undead. And he's writing something in a language you don't recognize.
Can I tell closer if there are any signs of life in this city, or if it is just like an abandoned city like some of the ones before we've seen?
It's really hard to tell from this height. However, judging by the state of repair of these buildings, you would guess that there must be people there. And also there's a lot of settlements. There are some large cities. He says, as he's standing there writing,
You have questions?
Yeah.
No sandwiches.
Oh. All right.
But I don't have questions.
I don't have any questions.
So,
Do you know where we're from?
No. Looters?
What?
No.
Plunderers?
No.
Why here?
We're from World 83.
he looks up.
World 83. Surprise it lives. Undesirables. Uncooperatives. Goblinoids. Overflow. Perhaps better if they stay inside. Tempted to look into how they postpone overeating. But possible influence of gods is confounding variable.
isn't the whole purpose of these experiments to figure out how they overcame overheating?
Not exactly.
What is the purpose of the experiments then?
Such a strange affliction for this crystal sphere. Others, grin space, realm space, gray space. Arcane magic produces no heat. Perhaps Overgod of this sphere created different rules. But why? Always the same cycle. Civilizations rise, magical power grows, heat grows, seas rise.
He stops and takes that conical bottle and pours some of that surging liquid into the bottle that the rag golem has brought him. And then he resumes.
Is it just regular liquid or does it fizz?
It is bubbling and it reminds you of the necrosorb.
Is this at all similar to the liquid that was on the evocation floor in the wind area that we didn't really explore too much?
No,
or is that totally
no,
different?
different thing.
Okay.
That was acid.
Strethok, why are you still here when so much of the facility is in ruins?
Heat grows, seas rise, civilizations collapse. No way to know how many times this happened. Old records are 3 cycles old. Usually takes 1,500 to 2,000 years to reach peak flooding. 500 to 1,000 years for seas to recede to nadir. Then, all starts again.
He looks down at the table, puts down the quill, and his eyes close. You can see that his skin is drawn tightly over his flesh, with some sections showing signs of cracks forming.
Forgive me. Thought being an archlich would mean tireless work. Yet it still overwhelms, sometimes.
So are you just trying to ride the problem out until the next cycle down here?
No.
Then what are
Looking
you...
for new solution. 120 worlds. Both survive only a few hundred years and overheat. Still, hundreds of additional years better than none in Jebberwarp.
was that last word?
Jebberorb. The world.
Is that what this world's called?
Yes.
I look at Zartok. Jebberorb?
Yeah, Jebberorb.
It's ancient for Orb of Jeb.
Oh my gosh! It's been Jeb all along!
Praise him.
I may have missed it, but what's different about World Zero than the other 120?
Test world. Initial attempted experiment.
But it seems to be doing so much better than all the others.
Constantly maintained by me.
Oh.
By my golems. Also has the largest population. Other worlds are test worlds. This one is a refuge.
Oh, I see.
What do you mean? Did you send most people here?
Most people here, yes.
But by now, I mean, it's just their children and their children's children.
Yes. Living their lives inside.
What determined who went to this world and who went to the other test worlds?
Luck. No fair way to do it except luck. Randomness.
Makes sense.
And
Except World 83. World 83 got troublemakers, criminals, undesirables.
Makes sense.
turned out well.
Paxton hears Zartok giggling about that and shoots him like a death glare.
I mean, come on.
You're talking about my great grandmother.
Yeah, you're talking about everyone we've ever known.
Well, I
They
mean,
are not criminals. The criminals are long since dead in your world.
yeah.
Except for maybe me,
Oh,
I guess.
That's a good point.
You wear Eldritch Knight armor.
Mm-hmm.
Rickert and Veritran agreed to keep things under control. Essential for security and stability. Many refugees, many wizards, sorcerers, and other staff. Difficult to monitor the monitors, however. Researchers busy with research just want to be left alone. Have their own underlings to oversee. Nearly all researchers gone now. Refugees gone. Little need to worry about Eldritch Knights. Admittedly, I have not thought about them in a long time. Too much to do here.
I don't think there are any left for you to worry about.
Even simpler.
What's the solution you're working on? What's the next step?
Drastic action.
He walks over to the glass world and looks inside. And then he walks over to one of these big tubes that's flowing into it, and he checks a gauge on each of them. And as he's walking around checking them, he talks to you. He says,
Original idea. Create 120 worlds. If there is a solution, one would find it. None succeeded.
I see.
That's kind of a lot of pressure to put on refugees that were randomly allotted to different places.
You think this unfair?
A little bit.
with no idea of what they were supposed to do.
Easy to call others' actions wrong when one is doing nothing to save future lives. Worse to lose 2,000 lives now, or lose millions or even billions of future lives to this cursed cycle.
So you think we're not doing anything to help?
They were doing nothing to help. But in the worlds, they can live for some time, their ancestors can live for some time, and maybe find solutions. Outside they die. Which is better?
It's a tough question to ask.
Not difficult. Life better than death.
Who's this guy on the table?
Name unsure. Retrieved from necromancy. For necrosorb testing.
Is your extreme solution have to deal with nobody actually being alive?
No. Not that extreme.
What was the Necrosorb supposed to do?
Necrosorb solution. Kill all arcane spellcasters.
Yep.
But you said that the arcane magic doesn't create heat.
no, he didn't.
In another world.
In other worlds.
In other
yeah.
worlds.
In this one, it does.
In this one, it does.
Oh, okay. How do you know it doesn't create heat in other worlds?
I have visited.
Oh, you went to The place with the tattoo artist.
Maybe.
Couldn't you just send all the spellcasters to the other realms instead of killing them?
How?
I mean, if you did it.
I chose to visit. How to force them to visit and stay. That is the issue.
Did you give them the chance to go to another realm? Are they aware?
They have opportunities. They choose to stay here. You are not thinking clearly. Obviously, asking people, please leave. Please use less magic. Please conserve. Not a solution. Conservation of arcane power is in collective's interest, but not in individual's interest. Individual restraint is not an equilibrium. Power, profit, self-defense, all lead to increasing use of arcane magic.
He stops and looks up from these tubes. He begins to speak really slowly and deliberately.
You are not thinking clearly. When an individual robs or murders, others punish to deter the criminal, or incarcerate the criminal to incapacitate them, if they cannot understand the consequences of their actions. We do not ask if it is right to stop the criminal from hurting others, or ask the criminal's permission to punish or incapacitate them. We punish them precisely because they have already chosen to harm others for their own benefit. Your proposal, ask them, is a proposal to do nothing.
Well, your proposal is to kill them instead.
If they will not refrain, if it will save millions of lives, yes, arcane spellcasters must leave or die, and the Necrozorb will hunt them down when I am done.
So this was a facility full of arcane magic users to stop arcane magic users?
Yes. Or find another solution.
Oh, so your final solution is the one that you're working on, which is the Necrozorb of kill all arcane spellcasters?
Correct. Other solutions were considered. For example, transfer control of arcane web to a divine power. Deemed too dangerous.
So you're creating this choice for people, for spellcasters, that they can either go to another realm or stop using magic, correct?
Or die.
Yeah. Have you stopped using magic?
One day, when the experiment is complete, the Necrozorb will destroy me.
So it's okay for you to use magic, but no one else can.
Until the problem is solved.
But
Yes.
until you've solved the problem, you're speeding the problem up, yes?
If I restrain myself, but do not solve the problem, nothing is accomplished. Contribution of one individual is insignificant. That is the nature of the problem.
So if everyone else is doing it, then it's okay for you to keep doing it too.
No, rather, it is not acceptable for any of us to do this. Yet me doing what I am may stop everyone.
But you say it's a cycle, and it's gonna happen anyway?
If we do not restrain ourselves, all of us, one person's action is irrelevant. It is rational to do what is in your personal interest, even if the collective result is irrational. Therefore, the problem persists. The only solution is to make it not in an individual's interest, or to make it impossible to contribute to the problem. Other solutions considered: destroy the arcane web altogether, preventing anyone from using arcane magic. This was determined to be too difficult.
What about using a magic wand to cool the entire planet? How does that work?
Yes, I remember. There was an elf with a wand. We considered that. Decided too dangerous.
Why?
wand is very powerful. Could cool the world, but in one person's hands might be oppressive
Why?
because of its power. We split it up, spread it around, so that it would be more difficult for someone to abuse.
Abuse more than creating an army of undead that kill spellcasters. That sounds pretty impressive to me.
Until spellcasters are gone. This wand, in the wrong hands, is very dangerous.
But the person who gave it to you, they were willing to give it to you to break up, so it seems like they weren't abusing it.
Perhaps. I am not familiar with the details of that. I only know wand is here.
Are you familiar with an elf named Laverian?
That was the elf's name, yes.
He's really a dragon.
He raises one eyebrow.
Really?
Yes.
Possible.
So would your Necrozorb solution require killing magical creatures as well?
Possibly.
So you would want to kill dragons?
Possibly. It depends on how much arcane spellcasting they use.
This is a quite extreme solution, and I'm not,
Indeed.
sort of comfortable with for personal reasons. So,
If it provides comfort, solution is still far off.
yeah, I agree. We were able to defeat one, and that's your first problem. What's the deal with World 83? What? So you had? How come you didn't overheat in your world yet?
This world,
He points to the world next to him.
Oh, not Zero. I'm talking to Paxton and Terra and Ethelfled and Epilema here. This is, what was different about yours and the others, you think?
I know
Other than the bubbles and gods.
in 83 they had this this group that was basically like the magic police that taught people how to cast magic in a different, less powerful way, and supposedly created less heat.
also, divines interfered in your world.
In what way? How did divines interfere with 83?
Bowls and glass permit divine magic to enter. Serves as partial substitute for arcane magic.
Strethok, what is the what's the total maximum population of each world potentially?
Unclear. Millions.
Well, millions. Then I don't see quite the problem for you. You can just have the populations of all exist in these jars.
Who will maintain the jars? We tried that with worlds above. Researchers leave, lose interest. Who will maintain them?
Could figure it out. Some sort of
You seem
religious
pretty
order.
dedicated.
Yeah. Yeah. How much longer you got, Strethok? Your skin's only peeling a little bit.
I will work here for centuries. That is why I became this.
Well, it seems like the best possible solution is cultural. Somehow, like it sounds like World 83 had. Did any of the other worlds come close?
No.
So, you're searching for a solution, and there was a solution in 83, but you didn't take the time to investigate it?
It was still overheating.
You're
Yeah.
right. World 83 was still overheating, and also his point was that something about the ability of the divines to send magic in means it's not a controlled experiment. That's what he was trying to say.
But I mean, we have the divines here too.
Yes, it slows the heating down somewhat. The cycle is only 2,000 years to complete, rather than the 500 it would need without divine magic.
Would the divines not be able to reverse the heat?
No,
Why?
that is not their power. They are beings that eat prayers and feed out magic.
I mean, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but if you killed the gods, then there would be nothing to draw the magic from, right?
No, that's just divine magic.
You would still have arcane magic and druidic magic as well.
We did consider destroying the arcane web to prevent all arcane magic, but could not find a way to do so. One other possibility was to transfer all arcane power to the control of one divine power, a goddess of magic. But we did not trust her with this power.
You were talking about creating a god?
No, an existing goddess. She is known as the Far-Off One, the goddess of magic, of arcane witches, wizards, sorcerers. But she was deemed not trustworthy.
Why is that?
Too much power for one being to have the prayers of mortals and control of arcane magic. It was hoped that perhaps she would assign a fee, a tax, a fine for the use of arcane magic, and therefore deter overuse. But possibly she would use this to become the most powerful of the gods and enslave the world.
It does seem a little risky. Sure, it seems like the wand idea is a good one to go with instead of kill all casters, especially since, the wand was already owned by someone before.
And when someone takes that wand from this nice, kind, sweet person, someone who is not nice and kind and sweet, then what?
Tara has most of the wand on her, and she's kind of looking around it's not exactly safe here, but she doesn't necessarily want to tell him, by the way, I've got the whole wand.
I find it hard to believe that someone using the wand could abuse their power in a way that is on the level with, like I said before, creating an army of undead that are going to kill all the spellcasters. That seems like about the most tyrannical use of power I can think of.
Yeah, I would say those undead also attacked non-spellcasters. Tara raised her hand.
Yes, design flaw. Still working on it.
Because what if another necromancer took control of your giant army of undead?
Once experiment is finished, undead will be their own independent force.
So they'll be the most powerful.
They will be programmed to lie dormant until arcane spell use is detected.
I can't think of any potential problems with pre-programmed undead.
Yeah.
I don't think you're winning us over on this idea.
Not important to me.
It's important to us.
I mean, it is a solution.
So here's a question for you, Strethok, that's totally unrelated to anything that we've been talking about. Do you have any wand fragments down here, by any chance? We're just doing a survey, we answered your survey. Maybe you can answer ours now.
It's the underworld census.
Yeah.
Maybe.
He gestures to one of these rag golems and points toward a row of cabinets on one of the walls. And this rag golem goes over to the cabinets and pulls a drawer open and starts searching through.
Maybe. Wait.
A few moments later, this rag golem picks up some white glowing piece of metal and holds it up, and he nods at this rag golem, and it walks over to you and holds it out.
Paxton looks over at Sartok and goes, "Hey, Sheets, you have those tongs?"
You don't know I have tongs.
Tara has tongs.
Tara has tongs.
But she'll accept the little fragment
All right.
with the tongs.
It snaps together with the others.
She discreetly opens the box to,
You want to try to hide from him what's going on?
Make
Make a relatively easy sleight of hand check, because he's not paying a lot of attention to what you're doing.
Why would you do that in this room? I mean, just wait till we leave the room.
It was at 9.
Okay, he didn't notice.
Paxton's thinking he thinks this wand is apocalyptically powerful, yet doesn't care if we take a fragment of it. Whatever. I'm not gonna try to understand this guy's thought process. I I see his point, but I disagree with it, which I guess is the most queer possible stance on things. So I messaged to Tara, and I'm like, we have the one fragment. I don't think we're going to convince this guy to stop what he's doing, or maybe consider a less extreme stance. And also, I'm pretty sure he would kill us if we tried to fight him outright. So
I don't see any point in that right now,
Yeah.
Paxton.
Strethok,
He's gone back to writing on his parchment.
is there any way to cool down the worlds in the glasses?
Inject cold air.
Okay.
I think we could.
Inject cold water. No other solutions.
And have you been doing that with this one?
Yes. Temperature is carefully regulated.
So this one is not come up with a solution for you. You're just maintaining all the people that live here.
Correct.
Are you going to use the Necrosoul orb in this world? World 0?
Not necessary. Yet.
What will happen with this world when you're not here anymore?
Not sure.
It'll die.
We'll try to find a way to release them.
You don't know how to release them at this time?
Not in large numbers.
What about in small numbers?
Would take a long time. Would need protection from the sun. Would need flight. Would take many spells and many years.
So in all this research on how to get people into the worlds, you never...
We never looked into getting large numbers out. It's much easier to drop something than to lift something up.
Does this have a soul jar in it?
You mean a receiving container to trap the souls so that they do not terrorize the living?
yeah, soul jar.
Yep, that's exactly what I meant.
Yes.
Do you ever empty it?
Not necessary.
It might be to those souls.
I've not considered this. It could be done.
How?
Simply take another container into the world. Empty the souls into that container. Ferry them out and release them. They will go to their ultimate planes.
Sounds like right thing to do, but, not a big deal. Just eternity trapped in a jar.
Time moves differently inside the soul containers.
Okay, I see. Well, that's not too bad.
So the jar in World 83 was broken.
His head snaps up.
So there's just a bunch of souls around the world?
That could be bad.
Didn't they escape out the top of it?
Some of them did,
Okay.
but not...
Is the lid on top of 83?
We did return it on top, right?
Yes, you did.
So
Souls are trapped inside the world now. They will fly freely. For some souls, this is harmless. For others, those that are cruel or evil,
all the bad people.
this could be bad.
Oh, yeah, that's a problem. Strethok, is it not possible to create a jar with anti-magic field? Are you using so much magics to create the jars in the first place? Can you?
Certainly, yes. Although, it would be difficult because this field would have to stay purely inside the borders of the world. Because if it were to contact the jar itself, the jar would likely shatter.
Yeah, but I think that might be potentially a solution, at least for inside of a jar world.
Also unclear what would happen to shrunk matter. Would have to consider that further.
Worth a shot, mate. Also, it would be... I know that you was floating down with Featherfall. You would need some sort of mechanical solution, like a flying contraption, or perhaps beasts of burden that with wings.
Would need a lift.
Yeah, maybe just a simple balloon. Hot air balloon or something.
What?
Like a... Oh, am I not supposed to know what that such thing is?
I don't know.
Never-
Maybe Zartok knows what one is.
I made it up. I'm Leonardo da Vinci.
Strethok doesn't know what one is.
Yeah, hot air rises, mate. So, you contain the hot air in the balloon.
Well, that reminds me, this room is quite warm.
Yeah, this hot air rise up. When we opened the door, was it like a gush of hot air coming out at us? So anyway, Strethok, I think that maybe consider other ideas. In fact, I think a socio-cultural one would be best. World 83 almost had one with the magic police.
Socio-cultural solutions. Tested and found wanting. Anti-magic. One moment.
And he walks over to a jar, just a little glass jar, and he picks it up and he casts some kind of spell, and the jar shrinks. Doesn't shrink down to itsy bitsy teeny tiny size. It shrinks down from maybe 5 inches to 1 inch tall. And he walks over to a box. And he opens up the box and he puts the jar inside. And he looks up at you and shakes his head. He says,
No. Anti-magic reverses. Reduce.
Alright, wouldn't work, eh? What about if it... Yeah, the soil is the problem.
The soil. The people.
What if you had the soil have less of it? So even if it was large, it would be fine.
The people.
Oh, the
would
people
all,
as well?
Yeah.
Alright, I got you. Yeah,
Having a bunch of people de-reduce in a tiny little jar all at once would be messy.
But it was worth him checking.
Yeah.
Yes. That is why one reason we monitored so many worlds carefully until we did not was to make sure no one burrowed through out of the glass. If the glass is damaged, the spell is interrupted, the magic disrupted, the glass will explode outward. All contents will fly outward.
Quite a mess.
And that would be not a quick and easy way to let everyone out of the jar.
Correct. It would be a quick way to kill everyone in the jar.
Okay, good. Glad we didn't do that, guys.
What about Alright, now, I'm just spitballing here since we're in a brainstorming sesh. What about creating a god of anti-magic rather than bestowing power upon a god of magic? So the god of anti-magic would serve as your police force for enforcing non-magic.
Who would pray to a god of anti-magic?
I don't know, we'd figure it out.
You probably.
All the people who want the world to cool down.
Yeah. Maybe create a god that's like of the savior of humanity inside the gerbil sphere or whatever you call this thing.
Now, other question, can you create a god within one of the jars themselves? Did that ever happen in any of the other 119 worlds?
No, we worried about that.
Okay.
Created suppressive field.
What if you didn't have one and we could create a god ourselves that would be a god that would enforce such a rule within either this world or the jar?
Would require large amounts of prayer to create a new god. Not impossible. Very difficult.
Sure, but everything is difficult. Look how long you've been working on necrosorbs that's gonna kill me.
And you.
Yeah. Both Josh and Zartok dead.
No, I meant Strethok.
Okay.
Might be possible.
Yeah, especially if you have people outside the jar that can bestow gifts upon people inside, focus it on one individual, then you can create that person into an anti-magic god.
Yeah, I'm sure the people here are desperate enough that they'd pray to anything if they thought it would save the world, right?
Might be hard to convince the people in this world because this world sucks, but within a jar you could turn the water on, so you could have a person say, hey, I create water, and then, have the people outside turn the water on, and everybody goes, oh, there's a god, they'll pray to him, then boop, you got a god.
Possible problem.
What's that?
Holy war.
What, you've only got one god?
No.
Magic versus anti-magic.
Magic versus anti-magic.
Yeah, that could be a problem, but...
The night and day fight?
Well, now we're really going too far into it, but if you took away the magical powers, only put people into a jar that didn't know arcane magic, there would be nothing to learn from the first place. It would take centuries before that anybody could figure it out. It just wouldn't happen. It could, but then you've got the magic god police.
Maybe something that happened in 83 that we aren't talking about is the fact that the reporters, the observers, since they were always around whenever something majorly bad would happen, people got super superstitious about it and thought that the reporters were responsible for those bad things. Reporters were hated after that, and they were sought out and attacked to the point where reporters hid the fact that they were reporters and, had to live in secret.
He looks down at the table and stops writing.
He says this happened
Yes.
in many worlds. It was not anticipated.
So, the basic idea is that people didn't like reporters. They thought that reporters were responsible for what was happening and made them undesirable culturally. Right?
Yes.
Couldn't you do the same thing with magic? Couldn't you just let everybody know that the magicians are the ones that are the spellcasters, are the ones heating up the world? Everyone would turn on the magicians, and it would become culturally undesirable to openly be a spellcaster.
Important difference. Reporters offered nothing of special value to the people around them. Arcane spellcasters are very useful. So, it serves the powerful to allow them to continue. Whereas if it did not serve the powerful, to allow the reporters to continue.
That's a fair point, but I mean, I would think that if people knew that the spellcaster is responsible for the world overheating.
This world knew. Everyone knew. Yet, it is not an equilibrium. You understand?
World 83 knew too. That's why we had the Keepers of Arcane Knowledge in the first place.
And yet, did your world heat up?
Of course.
Of
Slowly.
course. Yes.
So if everyone stopped using magic right now, including you, would the world slowly start to cool, or would it just not get any hotter?
It would start to cool. In fact, it is cooling now. The reduction of population has caused less magic use. And the world is cooling now.
Yeah, at some point, there's not enough spells being cast to make it heat up. Makes sense.
But it will resume once population rises. Think of it this way. Suppose everyone agrees not to use magic. Suppose everyone says we will not cast any arcane spells. You are a king. You are at war with a neighboring country. You know there is an arcane spellcaster who you could secretly employ. Do you refrain?
Of course not.
Of course not. And so the other side must do the same. And so you must use more. And so they must use more. So everyone must use more. And at that point, why would anyone restrain themselves? It is not an equilibrium.
And then we have our friendly neighborhood world dragon who waves their magic cooling wands and,
Like you said, what happens when the dragon dies? It's not a permanent solution, but honestly, the Necrosorb can't be permanent either, because eventually they would lose too.
Possibly. Perhaps there is no permanent solution.
I don't think there is, mate.
Perhaps this world is simply doomed.
Well, it's not doomed, it's just going to be repeating in this pattern. Is that wrong?
Possibly that may happen. I will try a new solution.
What's that?
This one.
Yeah. Maybe have a test world for that one first, before you unleash it. You can speed up time, see how it works.
Possibly.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
What world is he gonna use? Strethok.
You can just make a new one.
I have this world here.
Yeah, or that one. Sure.
You're saying, let's not kill this world. Let's kill that one.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he needs to think about it. His solution's not permanent either. He's kind of saying that's not going to work, but neither is this one, I don't think. So I say rather than do something that you just leave things be. This world will be in this repeating pattern, and maybe it finds a different equilibrium. It might take millennia. Might take eons.
Yeah, I wonder if you stopped the world from its natural cycle that it's been doing since the beginning of time, what new problems you would be creating when it gets outside of its natural rhythm.
No way to know unless it happens.
You said this world was created? She's like
Jebel.
motioning around her, like,
Yes.
and it
The
was.
Overgod creates the crystal sphere and its contents and sets the rules.
Has anyone tried contacting that person?
Overgods do not respond.
Are we out of reporters?
What do you mean?
You know, like, reporters in those worlds, she like points to the jar. They're the ones who talk to the gods of these worlds, you know. Do we need reporters?
Are you asking if Jebberorb has reporters that report to the Overgod?
Yeah. Or ever did.
No. Overgods do not respond.
How
Why
about-
not?
Unknown, they do not respond.
Where
To
do
be
they
fair,
live?
for a man of science, you can't say that they don't exist. You can only say that you don't know that if they would exist or not, right?
Reporters? Fair enough, yes. Known. Reporter, servant, or priest of an Overgod. They do not respond.
Has anyone ever, like, worshipped them to see if they would respond?
They do not grant prayers. They only appear when the gods of this world, the ordinary, mundane gods, become over-exuberant,
So if you made that goddess of magic.
possibly. That might lead to the intervention of the Overgod.
Why not abandoning this sorry, can't pronounce it. What about abandoning this orb completely? Taking all the people in it and evacuating. Finding somewhere else to go.
A good idea, but possibly beyond our abilities.
I think that's the best solution.
What world's gonna take you?
Oh, that's just mean. I don't know. I think I'd fit in quite a few.
I didn't mean you personally. I meant, like, you know,
Oh, these?
everyone.
We would have to find one that's suitable. How many worlds is there? I don't know. It could be infinite as far as I'm concerned. Could be one.
Many planes, many crystal spheres, many worlds within them.
You know, we did meet some wonderful people who, Zapka?
Yapka.
Yapka. Yapka definitely would have welcomed us, but I don't want to go there.
Where?
What did they call that place?
It was the plane of the devils and the demons.
Yeah.
What?
I'm drawing a blank as well.
He looks confused.
You speak of Avernus?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh dear. No, you do not want to go there.
Yeah. We got that feeling that we don't want to go there. You know, also the place with the
Nine
Lady of
Hells, no.
Pain, little scary.
Sigil is not large enough for the population of a world.
I don't think we went to any other planes.
Possibly
It wouldn't be.
Kryn, or Oerth, or Abertorl, or one of the
You're a
other
real
worlds.
world traveler.
There are many places to go.
See, I think one of those would be best. We could transport them in the jar as well.
What if instead of moving the people, could you make some sort of heat pump that just takes the heat energy out of this crystal sphere and shunts it to Avernus or someplace that's already super hot?
Or somewhere cold.
Yeah.
Possibly. Someone would need to maintain it.
Well, if it would just be happening in the world, it'd just be like a job people had. It sounds
Yeah.
like a dwarf thing, honestly. I mean, like, you know, machinery.
You are free to look into this.
Yeah, I know a lot about this stuff.
Epilema's really good at plumbing, right?
Oh yeah, guys, I'll just make some world plumbing. That sounds easy.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
it's neat. See, Strethok, I think we've got quite a few ideas on the table. You want maybe want to hit pause on the whole kill everyone that casts spells, maybe? Give us some time to look into it. I mean, you've got centuries.
Much time. Progress is slow. I have other experiments to track.
Yeah, that's what worries me sometimes.
Strethok, would you know who crashed into the hall where all the worlds were kept?
I do not understand.
Well, there's like a big hole in the hallway or something like crashed in, and someone cut the tubes to our world, and I just want to know who that person would have been.
I do not understand. Crashed into the hall. Cut the tubes. Why would someone do this?
That's a great question.
Yeah, he doesn't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it's why we left the worlds in the first place. Our rivers were breaking, and so,
Yes, no one to maintain them.
Yes.
You have fixed them?
Yes.
Any other worlds alive?
They didn't appear to be.
That is too bad.
Yep, we were the winners.
Go us.
You did win, but really, it's extraordinary that essentially what was a penal colony came up with the best solution. Could have been the meddling of the gods a bit.
Please, hold still for a moment, if you will allow me.
And he walks over to Tara.
Okay, but she's really scared of this.
All right, he reaches out one of his hands. You can see it is it's a dry husk of a hand. I mean, it looks like a dead hand. And there's still flesh on it, but maybe not for long. And he reaches it out toward your head. Will you let him touch your head?
Sure.
Okay, he touches your head and he closes his eyes. And you feel like he's rooting around in your head. You gonna resist or allow him to do this?
She'll let him.
Okay. So he pulls his hand away and says,
I do not know when, but one world exploded outward. That is not a crash into the building. That is a crash out of the building.
Oh.
Someone in that world tunneled, burrowed, dug, excavated through the glass. The spell broke. The glass exploded out of the building. The entire contents of that world exploded out into the sea.
Oh.
That's a happy thought.
Your world's damage looks like the wear and tear of time, not sabotage.
I thought you said before it looked like scissors, or like it was a clean cut.
it looked like there had been a cut, but in fact, he's saying that it looks like the rubbery hoses just cracked with time. But you're right. There was one spot that was cut. You're right. I forgot about that. There was one spot that was cut. That's right. So yeah, he'll agree with that. There was one spot that looks like someone cut it on purpose, and there was also that bottle that you found on the ground.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Maybe they cut it and that the people inside felt like they had to escape the jar because the water stopped. That's my guess.
You're all pondering this. I want Athelflaed and Zartok to make investigation checks to see if they can figure this out.
5.
19.
19. So Athelflaed, you're hearing all this, and Athelflaed, you only rolled a 5, so you're not able to figure this out. But you do remember that the river that was broken, the God's River, used to be known for its ability to heal people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Zartok, you're hearing this about this cable. This you're hearing about this hose that had been cut, and that there was a glass container of some kind on the floor. And you remember Athelflaed having talked about, and everybody having talked about this broken river that could heal people. And what occurs to you is maybe somebody cut that and then poured a healing potion into the river.
Whoops. All right.
Thinking they were doing something nice.
Yeah. I tell everyone my theory. I think somebody was messing around, thought they was doing a good thing.
Why would they do that, though? Wouldn't that be kind of messing with the experiment?
I don't know. Maybe they thought that it was good.
They could have just repaired those
Could have been a gnome.
afterwards.
Right. It could have been someone who didn't know what they were doing.
Mm-hmm. It's like pouring a bunch of Mountain Dew into a fish tank.
Fish love Mountain Dew.
Sounds genius.
It's what fish crave.
It's got electrolytes.
That's a great commercial. Oh, but so many fish would die.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are just solving all the mysteries.
Yep, Mountain Dew. Got it. Just pour some Mountain Dew into World Aid Free.
So it sounds like the only if every experiment ended with the world overheating, and as you said, as Strethok said, the only way to maintain equilibrium, like what he's doing with World Zero, is basically bringing temperature from the outside in through cold water and cold air. I assume that's how you're keeping this world from overheating, is these pumps are pumping cold water to counteract the heat from the spells inside?
Yes.
Hmm.
Temperature is constantly monitored.
So we just have to figure out basically how to pump cold water into this gerbil's orb. I keep
Jabberor.
Jebber orb. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's we've come up with a couple solutions. We could figure it out.
Yeah, we need cold. We've got parts of a wand of cold. I'm sure a smart lich like you could figure out something that you could do with a wand like that to maintain temperature equilibrium here like you are with Zero.
Possibly. You are leaving the wand to me.
No.
Not if you're just gonna let it sit on a table and not actually pursue a solution with it.
How much of a wand do you have?
Just bits and pieces.
Make a deception check.
Uh-oh.
Paxton, he's gonna lie.
It's a 16.
You rolled a 19.
Oh, bummer.
You are misleading me.
No, it is literally true that we only have bits and pieces.
How many bits and pieces? How much do you have? Is it nearly complete?
We don't know how many pieces we're lacking, so really impossible to say.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, just show him the wand.
I show him the wand.
One piece left. It is nearly complete.
2 pieces left.
Well,
You're not showing him the crossbow, right?
I'm not. I don't have a crossbow.
Who's got the crossbow with
Might be
pieces?
obvious. It's probably obvious who has it.
Yeah. There are 2 pieces left, and
2? Perhaps.
well, yeah, we thought that the dragon's plan was a pretty good plan, and yeah,
What is the dragon's plan?
to use the wand to cool the world.
You should think carefully. If it is that powerful, is it safe in his hands?
But he had it before.
Did he use it to cool the world before?
I don't know, but he certainly didn't use it for anything bad that anyone's telling me about. So why would he now?
I can't think that it's more dangerous to let him have it than to leave all the pieces completely unsecured and unsupervised just around a big research facility.
In the middle of nowhere, underground.
Yeah, where we
no
got
one
everything.
comes to visit except for unexpected visitors from a glass world. Probably would have been safe except for you. But in any case, it does not matter for my research. You are welcome to attempt this.
And if it works, you don't have to do that research anymore.
I hope you are correct.
And if he ends up being a terribly evil dragon, we can research how to undo whatever he does.
I think he's right. I think we've got to hold on to the wand if we're going to do it.
We can't cool the world. We're not a dragon. I can't fly over the ocean or whatever.
We're right next to the ocean. We can think of something. Hey, first of all, how does the wand fall apart? Like, how do we break it?
That took much magic. Not easily done. Especially in a way that can rebuild it.
I think if we need to break it again, we wouldn't care about that.
Is the wand even as powerful as it used to be, given the fact that you use so much magic from it powering this facility?
Yeah, Melidia traded it away because she said it was almost empty.
Not sure.
Do you know how to use the wand?
Perhaps would take research.
So you don't know right now?
No.
Okay.
I say we do it.
Perhaps your dragon friend is trustworthy.
Do you know anything about dragons?
Yes.
He was silver.
Usually helpful, thoughtful, arrogant, shapeshifter. Tend to like humanoids.
What if it was a evil dragon just tricking you?
Then plan is flawed.
Then he would have probably never given these guys the wand.
Yeah,
in the
but what
first
if he's a different... What if he's a different entity who knew about this person and then sent you on a little quest to go get it, and he's not the real Lavarian in the first place?
It seems like he was prophesied our coming, which I am going to go ahead with the stretch and guess was because of the guy who left the prophecies for us to even get out in the first place, and he seems like a pretty stand-up guy, so I'm gonna say I think he's a stand-up dragon.
Sounds like some sort of thing you would tell a bunch of adventurers to get them to do something.
No, I mean he showed up knowing when we were supposed to show up.
I mean, it is nice being told that you're special and all,
I am.
but maybe you're not. I'm saying that the only people we can trust right now are the ones that put the thing together, right? We're the one that risked our lives for it. We're not sure what this dragon is, really.
I saw him.
Yeah, I know you saw it, but we've seen things that aren't real down here. We've had our memories taken away.
Yeah, we've been charmed to do things that we don't even remember, so I mean, who's to say we weren't charmed while we were talking to Lavarian?
Prophecies are dangerous things. Can have many meanings.
But I mean, foresight. Right? You think foresight did all this work and did everything to get us to know how to get out of the glass jar and, you know, I guess told this dragon that we were going to get out of the glass jar and, you know, just did it all to mess with everything?
Hard to know what the gods do, why they do them, for what reasons, for what causes. You cannot ask foresight. Foresight is dead.
How did that happen?
I do not know the details, but in most cases when gods die, they have exhausted the last of their power. They seldom do this because gods are mortals made powerful. They are selfish, they are venal, they are flawed as humans, and elves, and dwarves, and halflings, and orcs, and all the other creatures. Foresight must have had a great cause to sacrifice his life.
Zartok, you're a magic-y guy. Do you know detect good and evil?
No, I don't know that one.
Could you learn it?
Maybe. You know, we're enforcing the roll on a scroll rule now. So, yeah, we'd have to find one, and I'd have to use a support roll on it.
I could cast Zone of Truth on, well, I guess he could,
Oh, on Lavarian?
Yeah.
See, I'm worried that if it is an evil being of some sort, even if he is good, what is he going to do with it? He gave it up in the first place. See, I was at first thinking we should just give it to him, but I had assumed that the wizards in the complex had given it a shot. It sounds like they didn't even try to use it to solve this issue. So I think we need to do that first.
Yeah, it seems like they basically used it to keep their building running.
They determined it was too dangerous. I think that it would be worth giving it a shot first, and Strethok doesn't seem against that at this point. What's the dragon going to do with it to fix the world? Even if it is a good one.
He's gonna fix the world, right? That's what he's gonna do with it?
He would have done that in the first place. He gave it to the wizards to figure that out. I assumed that might as well give it back to him earlier because I figured the wizards failed in their quest, but they didn't even try. So I think we should try first.
You think we would be better at trying to fix it with the wand than the guy who owned it in the first place?
He's probably not that smart. How smart is this dragon?
Well, I mean, he doesn't talk like the smartest guy, maybe, but
He sounds like maybe he had good intentions.
You know a lot about the people of this world that we don't. What does it mean when someone like totally talks like this?
I don't know.
Does that mean anything to you?
I don't know nothing about that.
Huh.
They totally talk like I can't even do it. What's up with that?
They talk like the gnomes?
It sounds like they got brain damage. Sounds like something messed with their mind. Anyway, I'm saying let's go get this one together and let's keep it ourselves and not tell the dragon we got it.
I think we should tell the dragon we got it.
Apolima leans over to Athelflaed and says, hey, Athelflaed, what do you make of all this?
I don't know. They're talking about philosophy. Yes, yeah, I think that's what they're.
Is that like a kind of pancake or something?
No, I used to hear it when I was in the monastery. Lots of thoughts about world stuff. And you know what I don't hear in this conversation?
Macaroni.
Yeah. And it's upsetting.
I don't see any in here either.
No.
Paxton,
Yes.
do you think that we should use the wand, or do you think we should get Lavarian?
I would like to talk to Lavarian, but maybe not with the wand on hand.
That makes sense.
Maybe we can keep the wand not quite fully assembled yet and hide it in like different places.
I mean, we can just literally hide it
So that we gotta go get it again.
anywhere he can't get to because he's a giant dragon, and that's why he wouldn't get it in the first place.
Yeah. So we should maybe seal it behind a pane of glass of pane or something.
Or just put it in my room.
Yeah.
I think I know a good room to hide it in. What about the one that's cold? The mountain room.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't be
We should
suspicious.
talk to Lavarian. We should figure out what he plans to do with the wand, and then judge whether
Now,
whether that's the right thing to do, and B, if it is that something we could do ourselves.
yeah, maybe. We can't use the glass of pain trick because we got to use that to get the last piece.
Yes.
Maybe
Oh, yeah.
you can. Yeah. Anyway, let's go get I think we're putting the wand together no matter what. So let's go get the last piece and then go hide the wand for a bit, and then I'll go have this chat with the dragon.
We could use the glass of pain trick if we're hiding the wand, because then we could just hide the wand where the ice wall is, and it would stay frozen. And then we could just put the glass of pain beyond that.
What?
Right?
No, it would be covered in water. What?
I don't know, mate. That didn't sound right.
No, you leave the wand where the fragment of the one that's keeping the ice currently frozen is. Be the same thing.
Oh,
okay.
Gotcha. Before joining them all together.
Exactly.
That's not really hidden.
Strethok.
He's been working on this cadaver again. He's kind of lost interest in your conversation.
I have a favor to ask of you. World 83 still has all of my friends and family and living people in it, and it needs some maintenance. And you're pretty good at world maintenance, and it might be better if someone like you were to perform the maintenance on it.
And de-soul it.
Yeah, de-soul it, like maybe inject some cool air in there.
Simplest thing. Remove the lid from time to time. We'll exchange cool air for warm air. Will allow souls to escape.
Oh, okay.
Nothing else to be done.
For like about how long should I?
What's
leave
the
lid off?
recipe?
Count to 30.
Okay.
What speed is world dial set to?
I think it's at regular, right? Just one? Yeah, one.
Yes. Count to 30.
Okay. Thanks for your help.
Is there any reason why we couldn't just leave the lid off so it was constantly exchanging?
But then you wouldn't have it heating up. The sun would be off of it.
You need the disc on top for the sun. And it would allow easy exit by inhabitants.
What if we just jammed a big hole in the top?
Correction. Would not allow easy exit, but would allow exit. Your most powerful wizards would find a way out.
They might regret it.
All right, let's go do this.
Okay.
So what are you doing?
I think we're going to go get the final piece, and then we're going to hide it, and then we're going to have a chat with a dragon, and then eventually you're going to give the wand to Zartok, because that's the best idea.
Up with you right till that last part.
Yeah, but we's the best ones, I think.
Epilema, Athelflad, do you guys have, thoughts on what we should do with the wand?
This is all above my pay grade, lady.
Well, I mean, I think the dragon guy was pretty nice. I don't know about you, but yeah.
I don't know. I mean, he seemed kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
A little weird, but not as weird as Weirdo. I mean,
Yeah, really.
he was an elf. I mean, so that makes him kind of normal. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm getting ready to go home if I can figure out a way to get in.
Zartok, we're gonna let you meet a really swell guy.
Sure. Let's just get the wand together.
Oh, I mean,
One
we
track
honestly
mind.
we have it together. Like we can just put it. I mean, because we have the crossbow. We know where the other piece is, so we're just gonna put the box and I guess the crossbow too behind the pane of glass next to the other frozen fragment, and then drop the stone in the well to call Lavarion.
Mm-hmm.
I am assuming that Aster gave us the stone before he left.
I think Paxton has it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's in my bag, so we might have to stop by Zartok's ship first.
Okay. Yeah, let's go do that. We got stop by the ship, get all the wand pieces together in the one abjuration floor level, go chat with Lavarion.
Okay.
We could just hide the wand fragments that we have on the ship.
That's such a long walk.
Yeah.
I don't want to do it twice
We have to
for
do it
no
anyway.
reason.
We have to do it anyway.
Yeah, but we're gonna do it once. We don't have to do it hide it there so that we have to do it a second time. Like that's
fair.
really annoying.
It's like 1 mile. It's like a. it's not
See,
that far.
I wear this like heavy armor.
Oh yeah, I see.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah, that would get quite annoying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you head back to the stairs. Strethok watches you go, a blank expression on his face. Then he turns his glowing eyes back down to the table.